Hey guys, Dave Curley with Church Training Academy, and today we're going to be talking about live streaming and how you can add live streaming as a part of your ministry at several different levels. We're going to be talking about why live streaming is important, and we're going to be talking about the 4 modes of live streaming and how you can, at the end of this session, start adding live streaming to your ministry today. So let's get started. Live streaming for church is the easy way. Before we go any further, my name is Dave Curley, like I said earlier, and I am the founder of ChurchTrainingAcademy.com, which is a community and a website where we all learn how to use and exploit media and technology so that we can maximize our ministry, take the gospel to the world. I've been live streaming and doing video production for a long time. I've been doing video production for 20 whatever years, and I've been live streaming pretty much since live streaming started. I've done hundreds and hundreds of hours of live shows, conferences, live streaming from the Consumer Electronics Show, live streaming from the National Association of Broadcasters, things like that. I've done hundreds of hours and thousands of various web shows and podcasts and things like that. Now, my question is, are you live streaming yet? Have you added it to your ministry? And if you're like most people, you know you need to, but you're wondering, what's the big deal with the live streaming anyway? Well, first off, if you haven't noticed, we're in the middle of one of the largest global shifts in the way that people communicate and consume information. It's instantaneous, it's visual, it's compelling, it's here, it's now, it's completely different than the way it used to be. Media is at the heart of most of our communications. In fact, if you stop to think about it for just a second, the way we're communicating with each other is completely different. How many times do you pick up your phone and make a phone call and get on a phone with somebody versus use that phone to instant message, to Snapchat, to use WhatsApp, send a quick message to somebody? We're changing the way we communicate, and video is very heavily becoming a central point of that. We are constantly communicating using our phones. We are constantly consuming media, and we are generating media. We're taking pictures. We're posting them on Instagram. We're doing Facebook. We're tweeting. We're leaving reviews. We're doing all kinds of crazy stuff using this little device, our phones. Now, why live video? Why is it so important? Well, let's break it down into a couple of different types of live video. First off, there's live events, and then there's quick hits, which is what I call them. Live events, these are much more formal, long-form events. They have a higher production value. Think about your church service. That would be something that would be more formal, have higher production values. It would be longer form. It could be an hour, it could be an hour and a half, right? Web TV shows, interviews, Q&A, things like that. More formal, proper lighting, proper audio, higher production values. These are the kind of things that work really good on platforms like YouTube, Boxcast, Livestream, Ustream, Sunday Streams. All these different types of platforms are designed for more formal, longer form live streams. A lot of the live streams that I've done that are like really long form, like all day long, like live streaming for 8 hours, at a conference or at a trade show or something like that. Those are the kind of platforms that we use to do that. Those platforms are meant kind of like our televisions, if you stop and think about it. People can sit down while they're working or while they're, going about their day, whatever. They can turn on that stream and they can just consume it over the course of that day, okay? Now, it's perfect for our church services as well. Then we're talking about quick hits. These are the things where we're grabbing our phone and we're just going live. We're shooting video. We're doing things kind of as they are. They're shorter form. They're raw. They're in the moment. They have lower production values. I mean, take a look. 2 of these 3 are extremely shaky. That is because they are just holding their phone up and doing it, okay? Now, the cool thing about these quick hits is that they are very engaging because you're kind of like a fly on the wall. The person is kind of taking you along with them on this little journey. Now, video is the future of content consumption. We already talked about that a little bit, but let me show you something. Mark Zuckerberg said in a BuzzFeed interview a while back that he wouldn't be surprised if you fast forward 5 years or so, and most of the content that people see on Facebook and are sharing on a day-to-day basis is video. And Nicola Mendelsham, head of operations for Europe and Middle East and Africa for Facebook, said that in 5 years' time that Facebook would definitely be mobile and it would probably be all video. Now, that was just a couple of years ago that they were making these predictions. Already, guys, look at your Facebook feed. Tell me what you're seeing. There's a ton of video in there. So this is already happening, which means we need to be taking advantage of this. So let's talk about Facebook Live for just a minute. Why is Facebook Live important? Basically because everybody is on Facebook. Facebook has over 8 billion video views per day. They have 2 billion active users. People spend 3 times longer watching live video compared to standard uploaded or linked video. In fact, Facebook is depreciating linked videos. If you haven't noticed, if you put a link to a YouTube video on Facebook, hardly anybody is going to see it. You're not going to get very many comments. Whereas if you upload a video, then you're going to get more engagement with folks. And if you go live, then you're going to get a lot more engagement. The number of videos posted per person increased by 75% in 2015. Video posts have a 135% greater organic reach than photos. We share more vids than pics. There's motion. It's cooler. We want to share it more. Videos earn the highest engagement rate, despite making up only 3% of the total content that Facebook has on the platform. People are 1.5 times more likely to watch video daily on a phone versus desktop, which tells me that we need to be thinking mobile first. Basically, guys, video is here to stay, and it's everywhere. Have you guys heard of Facebook Watch? You know, Facebook has a YouTube kind of platform that they're building out. People are consuming video on Facebook. And what's cool about doing live video is that Facebook notifies your friends and followers when you go live. That is really cool. People will get a pop-up. They'll see the little video showing up in the corner of the screen that you're going live if they're liked you and if they're following you. And also, you can communicate with them. When we do our live show, we talk to the people that are in our audience while we're doing our live show. You can do that as well. You could actually have a person in your ministry that is answering questions on the live stream while it's happening. Now, what can we do with live? Let's talk about that for a sec. We can share the message beyond the walls of our church. People who can't be there can still join the live services. It gives searchers a way to test out your services before visiting. It gives you a platform to build an online and extended congregation and provides a way for people to come back to church in a less threatening way. A couple of those are really big deals. People want to be a part of an event while it's happening. That's why we join live streams. That's why we watch things that are happening live. It's the same thing for your church. There are a lot of people that, for one reason or another, sick, out of town or something, want to continue to be with the congregation and be with the people as it's happening. So they're the ones that are going to want to watch it live while it's happening. The people that are shopping around looking for a church, long gone are the days when they're going to go around checking out every single church in town for 6 months and then find a place. They're going to test drive your church, okay? And also one that I hadn't thought about for a while, but after talking to some of my friends who are coming back to church, they may feel threatened. So they can go online and find out what your church culture is like before they ever set foot in the door. That's kind of a big deal now. One of the biggest things is being able to build and share your church's culture. That builds know, like, and trust. If they know you, if they like you, and they trust you, chances are they're going to join up. Now let's talk about the 4 modes of live streaming. We've got selfie mode. That's kind of self-explanatory. That's when you grab your phone and you go live. Just like my pastor is here at the church staff party, running around, playing games, doing things like that, bringing the people that are watching live as it's happening along on this little journey. There's no way he could have the entire church at his house, but he could let people see that what the staff is doing, being silly, blindfolded, making gingerbread houses, all that sort of stuff. Now, you can kick up selfie mode to the next level by adding a stabilizer. Check this out. The DJI Osmo and the Smooth Motion Stabilizer, these things are great. You can snap your camera in there and see, as you move around, it's not herky and jerky. It's a lot smoother, but you're still doing it in selfie mode, which is very easy to do right now and minimal cost to take it up to the next level. Now, let's move up to the next mode, indie mode, kind of like independent filmmaker. Think of it like that. Indie mode lets you take your phone and treat it more like a proper camera. You can add some accessories to it. You can do something like grab one of these iographers from a company called Iographer. You can snap your phone in. You can add a microphone. You can add lights. You can have a much wider area to hold on to, providing much more stability. So you don't get as much shaky video. You can mount it on a tripod. It's fantastic. You can also make your own. You can get brackets. You can get lenses. You can do other things and kind of kick up your device like I'm doing here with my iPad. You can do this and get a much better viewing experience for the person who is watching it, live or recorded, actually. The next mode is desktop mode. Desktop mode is basically where you get a real camera and you connect it up to your laptop, run some software, and do a more formal-ish type production, okay? It allows you to keep the budget lower, but get much higher quality. Then there's broadcast mode. Now, this is when you're going to be using a computer that's specifically designed for doing live streaming and recording. This is something that you're going to be using hardware that is specifically purpose-built to work in a specific way. Now, it does get a little bit more expensive, but one of the things you can do, which I've actually done for a TV show I do, is go from desktop mode to broadcast mode by building it yourself, adding hardware pieces, adding more cameras, adding better tripods, adding some better sound equipment, things like that. But you don't have to start at broadcast mode. You don't have to start at desktop mode. You can start at one of the lower modes and then just keep getting better, iterate, get better and better and better, upgrade, and eventually have the look that you're looking for. At our church, we use a TriCaster. That's what you're looking at in the upper right-hand corner here, our TriCaster. You can add multiple cameras. You can have higher quality cameras. You get to actually push buttons and not like be clicking on your mouse and doing things like that. It's absolutely fantastic. The question always is, after the stream ends, then what? And I always tell people it's time to continue the conversation all through the week. What does that mean? That means starting on Sunday, you are beginning the conversation at your church. You're beginning the live stream. You're beginning the live event. You're talking about whatever the subject is. And then throughout the week, you can carry on that conversation using other modes of live streaming like selfie mode and indie mode and such like that. You can connect with people on Facebook. You can answer questions. You can do all sorts of stuff like that. Basically, start the conversation on Sunday and then continue that conversation throughout the week and then start beginning the next conversation towards the end of the week. So there you go. Hopefully you can understand why live streaming is important, why adding live streaming to your ministry is really important. It doesn't always have to be just the formal thing. If your church is not at the point where you're ready to start live streaming the service, you can still add live streaming by doing selfie mode or indie mode. You can start bringing people into the environment of your church in these short little quick hits that you're doing. And it could be something like the pastor going into the youth director's office going, hey, what are you working on right now? Or the pastor could go live from his laptop on his desk saying, hey, here's what I'm working on. Here's what God's showing me this week, blah, blah, blah. That sort of stuff. That is going to be really engaging content for the people. And one of the things that it's going to do is allow them to see kind of behind the veil. Live streaming in any mode can really enhance your ministry and let you take it beyond the walls, way beyond the walls of your existing church, which is awesome. You can feed the community. You can start new communities. Pretty cool. Now, I know I've gone really fast here and I've thrown a whole lot at you. I've been talking really quick. I tend to get really like fast when I'm doing these things. And sorry about that. You might have to rewind a little bit. But I do have something for you guys. If you go to churchtrainingacademy.com/summit2, I've got a few bonuses set up for you. I've got the live streaming for churches guide, which is for you guys. It kind of goes through some of the stuff that I've went through here in this presentation. I've also got our 2018 gear guide, which shows you at various pricing levels, okay, no budget, some budget, lots of budget, what you can do, what you can work with in there. It's a great place to get ideas and see what's out there. A lot of the equipment is things that I've used or things that I'm planning on using here very soon. So it's 2018 Gear Guide. It's up to date. It's got some really cool stuff. You definitely are going to want to take a look at that. And then I've also got a content roadmap that I've put together for you guys, kind of giving you this idea of continuing the conversation, how you can do it throughout the week, okay? And who knows, I might have another surprise or two in there for you guys. I hope this has been helpful for you guys. I hope that you guys are starting to understand a little bit about how you can make live streaming a part of your ministry, whether it is in a formal type setting or an informal type setting, or ideally a mixture of both of those, kind of a holistic approach to live streaming. That's what we're going for here. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that the rest of the summit is fantastic for you guys. I hope that you guys learn so much stuff that you can apply and just take your ministries to the next level. Know that we're praying for you guys, and we would love for you guys to keep praying for us. Be sure to go to churchtrainingacademy.com/summit2 and grab those bonuses. And take what you've learned and go change lives.